Hello to everyone. In this video, let us discuss boron family. So, general properties and anomalous properties of that boron also let us discuss here. So, now first, what are the elements present in boron family? See here, the elements are boron, aluminum, gallium, indium, thallium, nihonium. So these are the elements present in which one third A group elements. That means boron family. What are the atomic numbers here? Boron atomic number 5, aluminum 13, gallium 31, indium 49, thallium is 81 and nihonium 113. So these are the atomic numbers of third A group elements. And the general electronic configuration is Ns2Np1. And now let us see the occurrence and abundance. So what is the abundance of these elements means here? Boron is a fairly rare element. Which is a fairly rare element means boron. Boron is available in very less quantity in the earth crust. So that is very fairly that rare element. And here the important minerals of boron are which one here? First one is boric acid. Its formula H3BO3. And another important mineral of boron is borax, Na2B4O7 10H2O. And another important mineral of boron is kernite. Its formula Na2B4O7.4H2O. So these are some important minerals. Of course, another one colemanite is also there. Colemanite formula, colemanite, its formula Ca2B6O11 5H2O. So these are the important minerals of which one? Boron. And now let us see the abundance of aluminum. So in third A group elements, aluminum is the most abundant element. In overall elements, aluminum is the third most abundant element in the earth crust, next to oxygen and silicon. First most abundant element oxygen in earth crust, second most abundant element silicon, third most abundant element in earth crust is aluminum, that is available 8.3% by mass. Okay, now important minerals of aluminum. First one is corundum. Corundum formula is Al2O3. And another one here, diaspore, its formula Al2O3H2O. Another mineral, bauxite, its formula Al2O3 2H2O. Another mineral, gibbsite, its formula Al2O3 3H2O. And another important mineral also there, that is cryolite. Its formula Na3 NaAl3F6. So this is NaAl3F6. This is formula of which one? Cryolite. So these are some important minerals of which one means here aluminum. Okay, this is regarding abundance. Now if you come to the electronic configuration related some important points here. In penultimate shell, boron has only 2 electrons, but aluminum is having 8 electrons, and other third A group elements have 18 electrons in penultimate shell. I repeat again, boron has 2 electrons, aluminum has 8 electrons, other third A group elements are having 18 electrons in penultimate shell. So due to this difference, boron and aluminum differ in some properties, and also both boron and aluminum differ in some properties with other elements of this group. So now let us see what are the differences between boron and aluminum. So now let us see the differences between boron and aluminum. So the first one is here. Boron is a rare element and this is a non-metal. But here aluminum is most abundant element. Most abundant element, and that is metal. It is non-metal but aluminum is a metal. And the second one is here. It is a bad conductor of heat and electricity, but aluminum is a good conductor of heat and electricity. And third one, boron exhibits allotropy. This exhibits which one here? Allotropy. Now, this aluminum doesn't exhibit allotropy. And another one here, boron now here doesn't react with acids. Doesn't react with acids like HCl and H2SO4. But here aluminum reacts with HCl or H2SO4 to liberate hydrogen gas. This is another difference between boron and aluminum. And another one here, boron forms which one here? Acidic oxides. It forms acidic oxide, but here this will give amphoteric oxide. Example, that what is that? Al2O3, oxide of aluminium, Al2O3, that is having amphoteric nature. And another difference is here, boron will give which one? Means stable borates. It will produce as stable borates, but this will give unstable aluminates. Unstable aluminates are formed by aluminum. And another difference is here, boron will give which one here? Borides with metals. When this combine with metals, we get which one? Stable borides. But here this forms alloys with metal. When it combine with metal, that forms which one? Alloys. And another difference is here, boron will give stable covalent boranes with hydrogen, but here this does not give any hydrides. That means it does not give any stable hydrides. Stable hydrides are not produced by which one? Aluminum. Okay, now let us see the remaining differences between boron and aluminum. Now the remaining are here. Next, ninth difference here. Let us see what is the ninth difference. Okay, boron maximum covalency. Boron maximum covalency is 4, but aluminum maximum covalency is 6. Maximum covalency of aluminum is 6. And next, boron forms which one? Anion. Boron forms anion, but this doesn't give anion. Aluminum doesn't form anion. Okay, then boron doesn't form cation. Boron doesn't give which one? Cation, but aluminum gives cation. This will form which one there? Cation is formed by that. Next difference is here, BOH taken thrice is having acidic nature, but here AlOH taken thrice is having amphoteric nature. Okay, another one here, boron forms covalent compounds only, but this can give aluminum give both covalent and ionic compounds. So these are the differences between which one, boron and aluminum. Okay, now let us see general properties of which one, these third A group elements. What are the general properties means regarding atomic size, ionization potential, and melting and boiling points, density, electronegativity, oxidation states. So these are the general properties of which one, third A group elements. Let us discuss here. First, let us see atomic size. We know that in general atomic size increases from top to bottom. But here one thing we have to remember that there is a sudden increase in atomic size from boron to aluminum due to the poor screening effect of inner d orbitals. There is a sudden increase in atomic size from boron to aluminum. Boron to aluminum, there is a sudden increase in atomic size. But from aluminum to thallium, of course, up to nihonium also, there is a gradual increase, not sudden, thereafter gradual increase. This is the important thing we have to remember, because in remaining properties, in every property, this is only that will give some changes in that remaining properties. That means sudden increase in atomic size from boron to aluminum, thereafter that regular gradation in atomic size, this will play the important role in remaining properties. Okay, this is regarding which one here, atomic size of that third A group elements. Now let us see another one, which one, ionization potential. Now here, if you consider third A group elements general configuration NS2 NP1. Now what are the important things we have to remember here? Now there is a significant decrease in ionization potential from boron to aluminum, and thereafter there is a slight decrease in ionization potential, because from boron to aluminum there is a sudden increase in atomic size. For that reason, significant decrease in ionization potential observed from boron to aluminum. Thereafter also IP decreases, but not significant. There is a slight decrease in ionization potential. This is the first thing we have to remember. And another one here, as the sum of IP1, IP2 and IP3 is much greater, boron does not form B plus 3. So boron does not give which one means here B plus 3, because IP1, IP2, IP3 sum is maximum. That means a very high value, that is for which one, boron. So it doesn't form B plus 3 cation. So these are regarding which one here, ionization potential values. Okay, then after this ionization potential, let us go for which one here, density. So generally what happens here, density increases from top to bottom, means boron to thallium or nihonium. But in case of aluminum, that density is less than our expectation. That means we expected there is a much increase in density, but due to the sudden increase in atomic size, aluminum density is less than that of expected. So in every property, that sudden increase in atomic size play an important role. So now we have to consider that in every property discussion. Okay, this is regarding which one, density. Okay, then after that let us see melting point and boiling point values. So now first let us see the melting point values. These melting point values decreases from boron to gallium. Thereafter, after that, again what happens here increases. Melting point value decreases from boron to thallium, thereafter increases. So among all these third A group elements, boron has the highest melting point. So boron has highest melting point value and gallium as the least melting point. Now the questions they give like this. What is the reason for highest melting point of boron? What is the reason for highest melting point of boron means due to chain to polymeric structure. Due to chain to polymeric structure, boron has the highest melting point. And due to simple Ga2 molecular structure, gallium has the least melting point value. Okay, then boiling point values gradually decreases from boron to thallium or nihonium. Boiling point values, no change in that, no irregularities. What happens means they decreases from boron to nihonium. Now remaining that regarding which one gallium, one important thing let us discuss here. In most of the competitive exams, many times they have given that question here. Melting point of gallium is how much means approximately 30 degrees centigrade. That means in summer that present in liquid state. So gallium is known as summer liquid because in summer atmospheric temperature is approximately 40-44 degrees centigrade also sometimes. So now in summer gallium present in which state means liquid state. So that is called which one? Summer liquid. And another thing here, boiling point of gallium is 2400 degrees centigrade. See here, there is a wide separation between melting and boiling point values of gallium. That means at 30 degrees centigrade, once gallium converted into liquid state, up to 2400 degrees centigrade, still it present in liquid state only. That means in a wide range of temperature that gallium exists in liquid state. For this reason, gallium is used as thermometric liquid. That means if you want to boil any other some chemicals or any some other instruments like that, we have to take which one means here this liquid as a thermometric liquid to produce high temperatures like that. Okay, this is regarding which one? Melting and boiling points of these third A group elements. Now let us see electronegativity. So here also same thing here. From boron to aluminum, electronegativity decreases. But thereafter up to thallium, what happens means increases. Again the same reason, due to sudden increase in atomic size from boron to aluminum. As it is, no difference in that which one here, that reason, always same. Okay, this is regarding which one? Electronegativity. Okay, thereafter now let us see the nature of these elements. What is the nature of third A group elements? Boron is purely non-metal, no doubt at all. And aluminum is having metallic nature. Of course, gallium, indium, thallium also almost same metallic as aluminum. That means except boron, Remaining third A group elements are having metallic nature. Okay, now let us see which one here. Oxidation states. What are the common oxidation states of third A group elements? Due to NS2-NP1 configuration, common oxidation states of third A group elements are +1 and +3. Of course, boron exhibits -3 oxidation state also. Now, in this, +1 stability increases from top to bottom due to inert pair effect. Due to which effect means inert pair effect. So now, if you come to the thallium, +1 more stable than which one? +3. Thallium +1 is more stable than +3. Regarding this inert pair effect, we can get some questions. What are the type of questions here means? Let us see here. What is the role of thallium +3? Is it act as oxidizing agent or reducing agent? The question they give like this. Now, thallium +3 is less stable due to inert pair effect. So it always try to change into +1 oxidation state. To change into +1 oxidation state, what it has to do here? It has to gain 2 electrons. By gaining 2 electrons, it gives thallium +1. Gain of electrons is called reduction. Remember like this. Leo, it sound like which one? Ger. Leo sounds ger. So Leo means loss of electrons oxidation, gain of electrons reduction. As thallium +3 gaining electrons, it is undergoing reduction, means that act as oxidizing agent. So thallium +3 acts as which one? Means that oxidizing agent. And another question also we get regarding same inert pair effect concept only. What is that means here? TLOH and TLOH taken thrice. Which is more basic? They give the question. Now if you come to the TLOH, in this thallium present in +1 oxidation state. But in TLOH taken thrice, thallium present in +3 oxidation state. Now, as oxidation number increases, size decreases. So now, in this case, TL-OH bond length is very less. Bond length is less. So as bond length decreases, bond energy increases. So this does not lose that OH minus ion easily. So like that here, that TLOH taken thrice is less basic than which one? TLOH. And TLOH is as much as basic like NaOH. So these are the physical properties of which one? Third A group elements. Okay, in our next class, let us go for which one? That chemical properties of third A group elements. Okay.